Welcome back, guys. Sticks and Stones, be episode 15. I got Brad Wilson with me today. Known this guy for a long time. He's got 18 years in law enforcement. Started a business about 4 years ago. It's been pretty successful, and I'm looking forward to getting into it with you today.
Let's get into it.
All right, brother. So 18 years in law enforcement.
18 years, yeah.
So what do those 18 years look like? Where did you start your law enforcement career, and where are you currently?
So I started at the Pittsburgh County Sheriff's Office, and currently I'm at the Oklahoma Highway Patrol as a state trooper for the last 14. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, that's from county to the state.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Were you how old were you when you?
I was 21.
21.
21.
At the sheriff's office.
At the sheriff's office.
Okay.
Yep.
So you was young when you got in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Where were you? Where were you born? Where were you raised at?
So I was born and raised McAllister.
Okay.
Yeah.
You went to McAllister High School?
No, I went to Savannah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Graduated 05.
Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs, yeah.
05. Yeah. I can remember. I graduated 98.
98,
Yeah. I think you were same class as my cousin, right? Cleve?
I was one under Cleve.
One under him?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was 04. Yeah, we played baseball together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, born and raised, when did you figure out that you wanted to go into law enforcement?
So it's a funny story, actually. My dad was working in the sheriff's office. I was 15 years old. He was taking me to a buddy's house. He was running radar, and we were going south on 69. Just north of the Davis propane building.
Uh-huh.
And he checked one that was moving. He made a U-turn in the middle of all four lanes of 69. And I just, at that point, I knew I wanted to be in law enforcement. I didn't know where I wanted to be at that point.
Right.
But I knew at that point I've got to, stop cars, basically.
Uh-huh.
So, at 15, you really didn't know where you wanted to be.
Right.
But once I got into some digging and where I wanted to be, it was definitely the Oklahoma Highway Patrols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you get all the cars you want.
All
there,
the cars,
right?
yeah.
So, did you ride out quite a bit with your dad when you were young?
I did. I rode out several times. Yeah.
Okay.
Once I got in high school. Yeah.
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 Well, that's. I know your dad's proud of you. I know your mom's proud too. So,
Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So graduated from Savannah, and did you have any college credits when you actually graduated, or did you start college?
I started college. I actually went and played college football at Southeastern.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long did you spend down there?
I just spent a year down there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I ended up saying it wasn't for me. College football is like a job.
Yeah.
It's you're basically going to class, and you've got workouts in the morning. You got team meetings. You got position meetings. It just, I don't know.
What position did you play?
See, I played quarterback in high school, and then I went down there. They recruited me as a athlete, and then they converted me to a receiver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You're pretty quick.
I was all right.
You still got any speed to you?
Probably not.
Okay.
No,
All
I'm
right.
getting older.
I definitely. I run now and I'm pulling hands.
I'm pulling the hand. Yeah,
Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
Well, there's I know there's another local trooper who he played college basketball. I think at Southeastern.
That's Daniel Hackler.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's crazy. And I there's several people that went to Southeastern to play ball.
Yep.
So
Several.
Oh, that's
Yep.
cool. Athletes, man.
Savannah.
Right.
Back in the day.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know anymore, man. I ain't down there. So.
Right.
So, where did you transfer from Southeastern then?
So from Southeastern, I did a couple of little workouts and stuff, and got a couple other scholarship offers, and I ended up not taking them, and I ended up just going through the COPS program there at Eastern.
Okay.
Ended up graduating with my associates in criminal justice. Got my COPS program, and then I took my cleat test, and I was already actually employed as a deputy. Had that 6 months,
Right.
and then ended up taking my cleat test, and
Yeah. So in Oklahoma, for the ones not familiar with it, like you can be employed at a law enforcement agency. I think the county's 6 months, and maybe municipality.
Everything is 6 months, and you actually, after that 6 month 6 months, you can actually, I believe, they can apply for a 6 month extension until you actually get your certification.
So that's how a bunch of recruiting actually happens out of the cops program,
Right.
Because
Yeah.
they'll actually go and see who's in the cops. I graduated with the same
Right.
degree from
Yeah.
there, so I can remember several of the guys before they graduated already had jobs working.
Right, and I'll never forget how because I was already a jailer there at the jail, and I'll never forget how that all come about. Richard Bedford called me one night. I'll never forget it. December the 27th, called me, and him and Danny Kelly were sitting there talking talking about who their next, who they needed to put in as a deputy, and they called me and offered me the job.
Richard, he was undersheriff then, right?
So no, J.W. Young was actually the undersheriff at the time, and
Okay.
and Danny and Richard were both the supervisors
I got you.
underneath J.W.
Yeah.
on each shift. So yeah, they both were sitting there and
Yeah.
called me. I'll never forget it.
They still got that bench for JW there
Yep.
at the office.
At the office, yep. They sure do.
So, well, it's a small world, man.
Very small.
You're lucky too because you're back in your home county
Right.
now. So
Yes.
that-
My with the Highway Patrol, my first assignment was Hughes County. I wasn't there 6 or 8 months until my troop commander at the time got me back home.
You got lucky, man.
I got real lucky.
That's good. I know there's some guys that they go off and they're gone a while.
They're gone years. So
Yeah.
I got super blessed to be back where I'm from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's cool. Well, so you graduate from Eastern from the cops program. How long are you? You're a road deputy for 2 years.
I was a road deputy roughly 3. Yeah, roughly 3. From being a jailer to then through road deputy, it was about 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember when you were going through the process to get hired, and I was reserving, and I would come out and ride with you and a couple other guys,
Yep.
But I do remember you going through the process, and you're kind of nervous. You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, you got this, you
Right.
know? And I look back, and there's so many people that before I got full-time certified that I would ride with now that are just all over the place working, like have good jobs, doing good things,
Right.
And I was always excited, especially for you. Like I was like, hell yeah. Because when they're in school, you're in that cops program, they're like, what do you want to do when you get out?
Right.
And you always hear someone in there's like, I want to be a trooper.
Right.
And so when they actually accomplish that goal, it's like, hell yeah, they finally made it.
Right. I know one other person that went through the cops program that actually is a trooper now. That's actually about to retire probably next year.
Really?
Yeah. So I've never heard of it other than myself and him. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's one in the mix right now, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You never know.
You
till
never know.
It ain't over till it's over.
Right.
So, man, that's cool.
Yeah. There's one in the mix right now that's actually in patrol school.
He was in the cops program.
He was.
with me.
Yeah, sure was.
Pissed me off because he outshot me at the range. He's the only time I've lost at the range in a competition was to him.
I've heard he's a heck of a shot.
He's a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
And I was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we were shooting we tied through everything, and they took us back to the 100, and we were shooting pistols at the 100.
He probably had that red dot on there too.
Man, he didn't have no sissy weapon. I
Yeah.
thought it was John Wick. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. He can shoot.
Yeah. He's got some money in his weapons
Yeah.
for sure. I'm old school. I just got old open sights,
Oh, yeah.
ready to go. Okay, so you switch over there. How'd the academy treat you?
20 weeks of hell
20 weeks of
is to say the least. That's
Yeah.
That's how I can say it.
I got lucky enough. He retired now, trooper, but he got me into a medic school that they did there at troop, and his father-in-law was actually the assistant chief at the fire department I was at. And anyways, I lucked out.
I know exactly who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Yeah.
So he got me into that school, and I went there, and like there was a bunch of troopers that were in that class, and I can remember sitting there, and they're like, "Oh no, if I had to go back through the academy right now, they're
It's
like,
done.
I don't know, man."
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
but
TCCC.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That was and he actually taught that class
Yeah.
in my patrol school.
really. So
Yes.
do they teach that in all the schools now? Patrol
I'm not
school?
sure. I'm not sure. I know they did there for a while.
Yeah.
Mine they for sure did. That
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, man, it's life saving
It
stuff.
is.
I mean, even if it's just on yourself, that's
Right. Well, I mean, the way that we did it, it wasn't just on ourselves.
Right.
It was, you're going for somebody, and then you may get shot.
Mm-hmm.
In a scenario, and then you've got to tourniquet yourself, and then get to helping them and come back.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Yeah.
it's good information for sure.
for sure.
So, what would you say? 18 years later, what's been the best part of law enforcement for you?
That's a good question. The best part for me is probably going to the highway patrol and getting the training and the experience and the on-the-job training. I had some of the best break-ins that you could possibly ask for. Just being officer safety-wise and tactically sound.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could have asked for better that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Troop does seem to do it right with their break-in program, like where
Yes.
they keep guys, like, I'm not sure the proper terminology with y'all, but I mean, like, it seems like they got the FTO with their person for quite a while,
Right.
and then maybe switch to, or
So they've changed it up now. I believe there's 6 phases. Well,
Really?
So when I went through, there was 4 phases. The first one is your primary. You get 3 what they call limbo days where you're watching them work, and then you've got 15 DORs, and then after that you go to your second phase, 2 limbo days watching, 15, and then phase 3, 1 limbo day and then watching, and then phase 4 back to your primary with no limbo days, 10 with him in plain clothes. So
in plain clothes, really.
plain clothes. So he's basically doing nothing, just observing you.
So you're the trooper in uniform then.
Yes.
And you're expected to know what you're doing and get it done.
Right.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
What about, and you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to talk about it, but there was one shooting that you were involved with that I ended up actually
Right.
being involved at the end of it with you, but
Right.
what can you elaborate on that day, or
Man, me and my partners, we had went to eat, and we had went back to headquarters, and we were just sitting there and kind of just letting our food settle.
yeah,
Another agency had started up a pursuit and wanted assistance with that. Me and my partners, we got in it.
let me stop you just for 1 second. Like in southeast Oklahoma, like if a pursuit kicks off, it's basically they're on, or from my experience, we're on the phone trying to get a trooper there pretty quick.
That yes,
because we know that you guys can perform some skills that we can't.
right.
So okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. So yeah, 9 times, almost 10 times out of 10, every agency that in southeast Oklahoma that kicks up a pursuit, they're looking for a trooper to be able to TVI and end it.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
Tactical vehicle intervention.
Okay.
Which is the old school, what they called PIT maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting there. Another agency calls, wants us to get involved. My partner ends up taking over the pursuit. Long story short, my partner ended up having to shoot the driver of that, and I ended up getting hit with shrapnel in the right shoulder. I actually remember you, coming up and wanting to rip my uniform shirt off of me so you could get in there and see it, because hole, and you could see blood and all that. And I'm like, whoa, this is my favorite shirt.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, let's not tear it up.
Yeah.
Troop Z ended up taking it anyway, so I still to this day, 7 years later, I still don't have it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm
You get to
serious,
keep it
yeah.
in? Man, that was a freak day for me with that deal because I wasn't even supposed to be on duty.
Right.
And the guy I was working with when that went down was not even supposed to be on duty. We came in to cover some people had something going on, you
Right.
know, and we prearranged and we came in and we were covering and that came out like,
Right.
and you know it was officer shot. And,
Right.
I mean we're right down the street.
Right
and,
down the street. You're right there, you know, at the South
Yeah.
Station, and just
Yeah, we get down there and it's bad anyways.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
like when it's one of your boys, one of the guys you've been raised with.
right.
And they pointed to you, and I was like, "You're still standing." So that was good indicator for me, you know.
Right.
But then I could remember, saying something about your shoulder, and I was like, "Let me see." No, I was like,
Let me see. Right.
Yeah, and
And I'll never forget it when as soon as it happened. If you watch that video that's actually on YouTube, you know,
Yeah.
you can see me flinch, and as soon as everything's said and done, I'm looking for a tourniquet because I'm thinking it's stinging, it hurts. Obviously I've never been shot,
Right.
so I don't know if it's shrapnel, if it's a real one, what it is, but I know it hurts.
yeah, how much or what did I just?
How
get
much
hit
of what
with?
did I get?
Yeah.
So I know where my tourniquet is. I'm looking to see if there's one closer, and I'm looking down and I see cut in my shirt and I see blood.
Yeah.
So I'm running back to my car. It's in my. Still to this day, I still have one in my driver's door pocket. I go back there and I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't need this.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah, I guess my concern was like, you never know where something travels. You know what I
Correct.
mean? But then you have to do your assessment so quick when there's like multiple patients. But it was like, okay, you're breathing good.
Yep.
I'm not hearing any wheezing.
Nope.
You're still standing when I get there.
Yep.
I'm not seeing copious amounts. And you're like, hey, I'm good. And I'm like, all right.
right.
All right. So then I go do what I do.
Right.
You know? But I will say, I have never. I respect your dad. I always
for
have
sure.
respected your father.
Yeah.
But when I saw your father at the hospital, boy, he was like, you know, where's Brad? And I was like, he's good, bro. He's good.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't lie to me. And
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm telling you, he's good. So
Yeah, I'll
And,
never forget. You know, they all come and snatched us up, took us to headquarters, and he come in the door, snatched me up, gave me a
Yeah.
hug. He said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, I'm good."
Yeah.
And then he said, "Okay, call me in a little bit."
Yeah.
And that was it.
yeah, and that's that was a bad one.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I called you later that day or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, hey man, just doing my job, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, or you're like, no, and I was like, all right, just
Yeah.
just so we're
Appreciate you. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
For
on the
sure.
same playing field, man. So yeah, but I love you, man. I'm glad that turned out for you like it did, and you're good to go.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Okay, so craziness there. What about pursuit? Have you ever had just like, what's the craziest pursuit you've been in where the person just walked away from it? I mean, of course, got arrested, but just walked away. Like they should have just destroyed their car or messed themselves up, but they're fine.
I was actually briefly involved in a pursuit that come up from the south, and actually one of my litter mates that was down there at the time, he TVI'd a guy at 124 miles an hour.
124.
124 miles an hour.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw. Rolled it, went into the center median cable barrier, got up, walked out of it, had EMS check him out, back to the jail he went. That's the craziest one I've ever seen.
Hey, man, I've seen wrecks out there. Most of my stuff I respond to is in the bus in the ambulance, but there'd be a wreck, and there's no way anybody lived through this, and they're just
Out there walking around.
like
Yep.
no, it's that person over there.
Yeah.
You're like no way.
Yeah.
You know? And then there's ones where like just like a little fender bender, and it's like the person's DOA right in the car. I'm
I
like,
know.
how did that happen?
Right.
Like, or was that before? Like,
Right.
it's super weird.
Super weird. I've seen it go both ways.
Right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. How many accidents do you think you work a year? Or not necessarily you work, but you go to, or
I would say the last time I actually checked, I probably work 60 to 70 a year that I actually work. I'll probably respond to over 100 just myself in Southeast Oklahoma, just in my area.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so the 60 that you did, but you had to like run a full investigation.
The
Like,
whole thing, yeah. The ones that I did work is the ones that actually, were bad enough that had property damage or, DUI or, whatever.
and so like you got to submit a report. You have to, I always see you guys out there wheeling it out.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
I mean,
so you got your time in law enforcement. Been involved in some crazy stuff. You're on YouTube for some crazy stuff.
right.
What's your side hustle now? Because I know you got one.
Right.
So what do you got going on there?
So about 4 years ago, I started TriStar Security Services. We specialize in active shooter response and the training of it. I've got a partner that does the training portion of that, and actually, co-ops with me on several different deals. So appreciative of him, of where even law enforcement wise and business wise, just a big time wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
So
Kind of a mentor, or like
mentors slash tactically sound, just an all around good dude, in my opinion.
Yeah.
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 Man, when you get those, you got to latch on to them.
Absolutely.
For sure. There's a
Absolutely.
couple guys with my business that I don't let them out of sight.
Right.
I'm like, hey, get back over here, pretty
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
So TriStar Security
TriStar Security Services. Yeah.
Services.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, how many? What do you call them? Like, do you call them operations or details, or like what do you call like when someone's working for you?
So security officers,
Okay.
because mainly everybody that works for me has been in law enforcement or is active law enforcement right now.
Right.
So basically, you'll have city guys, no matter what city,
Right.
sheriff's office, even troopers, and then you've got retired troopers. I've even retired troopers from Texas,
Really?
yeah, or
Okay.
retired PD officers from Texas.
I guess, are they coming up to work like? So where's the majority of your business?
I've got about. I'd have to go back and look. I've got multiple schools for
But
school.
Oklahoma is the base right now.
Right now, Oklahoma is the base. I've actually ventured out into New Mexico, doing a few things out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the guys coming up from Texas, they working mainly south for you.
So basically, the guys that have came up from Texas, they're ranchers or something that have relocated, and then they have gotten into like school resource officer roles, something like that. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
And so what are you guys doing in New Mexico then?
So the New Mexico, as of now, I have several things working, but for right now, they are dine-in movie theaters. Dine-in movie theaters, yeah.
Okay, so like the big one they have up in Tulsa is
I'm not sure. I think they've got one in Oklahoma City.
like got the big recliners and you can.
So that's Warren. That's Warren.
Okay.
These are Flix, Flix.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you guys just have somebody, you're posted there
Yep.
during their hours of operation.
Right.
You guys are posted.
Yep.
Okay.
They're in Albuquerque.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Albuquerque can be a little rough sometimes.
I've heard Albuquerque is rough.
Yes.
Yes.
I've been through Albuquerque many times.
Yep. Yep.
But so the guys you got working for you, you said most of them have had some time in law enforcement.
Yes.
Do you guys typically with the is it word of mouth that people are finding you? Are you guys going, like, you're reaching out to the places, or?
So there is most of them that I do have currently have been word of mouth. There are several that I have reached out to personally and got myself, and then my partner actually did the legwork on those, and you know, vouched for me as a business and as a person,
Yeah.
and you know, did that.
Yeah.
Got them.
So, is there like for your security officers? Do you guys have like a minimum standard that you guys are looking for, and then like pluses if they have other stuff? Or?
Well, so everything that we put into our agreements with anybody that we get, they have the most up to date active shooter threat training.
Okay.
So, which would be laser, LA. You know, I believe it's LASER, and don't ask me what it stands for. I know it was taught by LSU.
Yeah, LSU.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what everybody went to at. Well, that's what Oklahoma transitioned to
After Uvalde.
Uvalde,
Correct.
yeah. They went away from alert to laser.
Right. And I actually, alert was actually good,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I thought alert was good too. I think laser's good too. I mean honestly between us and I guess the rest of the world,
Right.
The only issue I have with either one of them is the actual forcible entry side of it. It's if it's gonna be taught, like it's got to be realistic. I mean, I
Right.
can't show up with a when I see people with a crowbar at a 45. The 45-degree angle crowbar, I'm like, that ain't gonna work.
No.
It's not gonna work.
No.
But that's it. That's my only issue as far as like addressing the threat. Like I think it's good to go.
Right.
Like I guess the problem is a lot of places the officers in general, just officers everywhere, like, are you in it or are you out of it?
Right.
Like, are you gonna prevent it or
you're
stop
not.
it,
Right.
or are you gonna hang out till somebody else shows up?
So,
Like,
laser is supposed to be the uniform in Oklahoma of the way, every law enforcement officer responds.
Yeah.
Well, the bad part about it is a lot of agencies still haven't gotten that training. So, that's one problem that
see, I thought that it was. I guess like maybe they talked about mandating it or something.
they did. So we had to go through it by a certain day and, date and time, I believe was by December of 22 is when
Yeah.
we had to all have it completed. I do know that they're teaching that now in Cleat. That is a
Laser.
laser with, it's a
Yeah.
mandated deal.
Well, not the head guy at Cleat, but the guy over the academy. He was a trooper.
Trent Pettigrew.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm sure that has something to do with
I'm
it
sure,
too.
yeah.
He was over a BPOC too somewhere for I think only one time, and then he went over to Cleat.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm sure that has something to do with them teaching it, And it should, to me, it should be taught. Like you got to have an active shooter, especially nowadays. My God.
Yeah.
I mean, like.
It's every week that you hear something.
Every week, yeah.
I don't know if you heard, but there was a wedding in New Hampshire over the weekend.
At a country club.
Yes, at a country club that
Yeah.
they went up there, and I think 30 to 40 people were injured, one deceased. Like,
Yeah.
at a wedding? Why?
Right. Yeah. I heard the guy had worked there.
Yeah.
Had been there. But did you hear that the way it was ended with the chair to the head?
No,
Or
I
how did
not.
you hear?
I didn't hear that how it was ever ended. I heard that he yelled something about a foreign war.
Yeah, free some stuff.
Yeah. And then just opened fire.
Yeah, I heard last night on the news. I'm not sure if it's correct or not because you can't
don't
really
know.
trust anything
Right.
anymore. But I did hear that there was a bystander that smashed that dude over the head with a chair. So
That's great.
if that's true, that guy that did the smashing, someone I'll be looking into hiring him.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
But all right. So back on the security stuff, we had to take a little break there.
Sure.
I had to refill my cup.
Yep.
So you got the security company going.
Mm-hmm.
What is what are the qualifications besides everybody has to have the most current active shooter training, active attack training? Are you making them do that yearly?
So no, actually, everybody does not have to have that. I can back up a little bit on that.
Okay.
Because we do Christmas parties, weddings,
Okay.
smaller day event stuff that doesn't really require that.
Right.
But every long-term agreement that I have, that's just something that I put in there to let them know, hey, the guy that you have every day has that training that is there to assist you in.
So in those contracts, that is like included, like, hey, just for peace of mind.
Correct.
Okay.
And then also, in all of those agreements, we also will do one time a year, go in there and give the employees, whether it's a school or a hospital or whatever, the employees, faculty, staff, teachers, whatever,
Right.
give them one training a year of active threat assessments and also active shooter training to basically, normal people haven't heard a gunshot inside of a building. It's an eye opener.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Or flincher, or
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I remember the first time I heard a gunshot in a building, and I was in shock. Like,
So, short story. I was in church. I was a deputy, but I was in church, and
oh, I bet I know where this is going.
yes,
Go ahead.
yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm in church, and it's not 2 rows in front of me. I hear a gunshot. I'm carrying.
Yeah.
I immediately just kind of clear. I don't pull it out. I just kind of, and
Yeah.
before I can really start looking, my wife looks at me and she says, "Was that a balloon popping?" And I said, "Absolutely not." Well, I say all that to say a lot of people, their OODA loop is not, it's messed up. They're not, they're not trained for a gunshot inside of a building or something like that. And me just being as a deputy, I recognized that was a gunshot, and it was very close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always carry to church.
Oh, even now, especially now.
Almost everywhere I'm at, I'm probably carrying.
Yeah.
If
If you're a Christian or a Republican, you're a target.
someone's looking for you.
Someone's looking for you. And if you're both,
Right.
Right.
The church that I go to, it was a full service. They were doing some kind of kids service at the front, where so everybody's grandparents and everybody's
Sure.
there, and I can remember sitting there, and of course I sit with my mom, my dad, my whole family.
that's the way
my
this
wife,
was when that went off. Yeah, when that happened.
And during our services, nobody's supposed to be upstairs.
Right.
And I look up there to the right, and there's blinds, and they're pulled down, and I'm like, that's weird. But I thought, well, maybe that's just how it is. Like maybe they're broke, and then they went up, and I was like, So I'll keep watching, and it goes again, and of course the church has security, and at the time the security was just
Basic.
real basic.
Right.
And so I get up, and I told my wife, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go check this out so I get up, get out of the pew, and I go over there, and I talk to the usher at the back, and I was like, hey, is there anybody supposed to be upstairs? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
And so we leave. I said, somebody's up there right now.
Yeah.
And so we leave, and this dude comes downstairs, and he's got something black in his hand, and it's small. And he was not holding it like a phone, but it was a video camera. And I was just like, this is going to be a real bad day in church.
Yes.
But so he was pulling the blinds down and videoing through, and I was like, bro,
Why?
you can't be up there. Like,
Right.
we're all supposed to be in here. Video from the back, something. Like it was just sketchy. But like, I don't know that anybody else in the whole church saw it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like you say, most people don't
recognize or realize.
oblivious.
Right.
They have no idea.
Right.
And I hate that in law enforcement. It's almost like your anxiety's up more than normal, but I think it also protects you.
It
too.
does, for sure. And you go to church to get something out of it. And even for me, even now, going to church, I try to do my best to get what I need to out of it. but you're constantly on higher, on higher alert of where's your exits, where's the entrances, what's going on. How do you assess the threat before you get your family out? No, not me.
Yep.
My family's gone first, then I'll come back in and assess the threat. But you're sitting there.
Where are you sitting your family?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because between what you're doing by yourself, a risk you'll take by yourself is not a risk you'll take with your family.
Correct. Yes. Anywhere, for that matter. Whether we're in a store or a mall or a restaurant or whatever, it's always different if what you would do with your family or without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do feel like every day, like you're looking at stuff with a different frame of, through a different lens.
Absolutely. You're always on a high, and it's hard to be that way all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's really just exhausting.
Yeah, it's draining.
It's draining.
Yeah.
Because, at some point when you get home, you're just kind of done.
Well, and home is safe haven.
Right.
It's like at home you can, that's where you're safe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're like all the other law enforcement I know, home is also set up to your advantage.
Of course.
Absolutely. I'm ready.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Don't come to the house and be stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but it is a safe haven. It's your castle.
Right.
Back to the security. We went off on the church thing. Yeah. We're back now. But so with the business, like, how many employees do you think you have through the year normally?
Through the year, it's somewhere around 50 plus.
About 50 plus?
About 50 plus, yeah.
And you rotate them, or you have like a steady 50?
So there's a steady 10 to 15, and then the rest rotate out as they want them. Just as it comes up and gets filled. So with your full-time guys that you have, is it weird for you to be a business owner that these guys are dependent on you to make the business work? Weird? No, it's actually fulfilling to be able to help guys that that want to work and want to do extra side gigs and side hustles to actually be able to provide to help them out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
do you feel like extra stress because you're trying to get them scheduled, or?
Somewhat. I've always got I've got multiple schedules that I've got to do every month that, about the 15th, middle of the month, I'm always, I always start it, and it may be 2 weeks before that specific shift until I get it filled.
Right.
So, there's always a...
So when for me, with my little side business, like, I enjoy, it's the only bill I enjoy paying.
That's it.
I enjoy cutting the check.
Absolutely. It's what gets me out of bed in the morning.
I think that's something where your stuff is way bigger than mine, but I enjoy giving that check to a guy that's done work for me.
Absolutely.
And it's fulfilling.
It is.
It's like, hey, brother, this is for you, and I appreciate what you did for me.
Absolutely.
Oh, do you let or do you think, like, your guys kind of take ownership of the places they're working?
Absolutely. Like I said, I've been doing this for, over 4 years now. And there has been, I can't even think of more than a couple of instances that there has ever been a complaint or any type of, you're always going to have some type of a problem with this type of work.
Right.
But not with the guys that you have working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ran into one of your guys. I didn't even know he was working for you, but I ran into him, and I had worked on the streets with him before. And when I saw him, he's plain clothes, and I was like, what are you doing up here, brother? And he was like, man, I'm working. And I was like, oh. And he's like, yeah, this is my school, so he takes ownership of it, and, like, you could tell he was actually invested in the kids. Like, he was interested with what they were doing, and, like, you could tell, like, this is my school. These are my kids.
Absolutely.
So, and I think that is really cool that they're like that. The guys that I know.
Right.
you
And I've
know.
told all of them, this is your baby. These are your kids. If you handle it, and if you can't handle it, and you've got a problem that that needs some type of answer, call me. If you've got something that needs law enforcement, call law enforcement. But other than that, you're
Yeah.
there.
Do you so between your sites that you have, which for you is the easiest site for you to work to secure, to
Oof.
get your security guys to and feel like, hey man, this is good.
I wish that I could have at least two at every place that I have,
Yeah.
because there's from anywhere from 4A down to Class B in the schools. 4A is a logistical nightmare.
Right.
Multiple campuses on different city blocks,
Yeah.
just an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like I've employed guys that are sound, that can actually make a decision, that aren't scared to make a decision.
Right.
So I can't really say what site would be.
Well, what about, like, so you got the movie theaters,
Mm-hmm.
you got hospitals, schools. What else do you do, like, besides the little stuff?
Besides the little stuff,
Yeah.
it's right now it's just the movie theaters, the schools, and hospitals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, just from an outsider, to me, like, it seems like the movie theater would be the one that I could secure easiest and the quickest. And the only reason I say that is because they're trying to make a profit. They're trying to make money, right?
Right.
So they only want people coming in that front door.
Right.
So to me, it's like, if I'm the security dude, I could.
But and that's a good point. So out there, they have metal detectors, I believe. But if they don't go off, and I talked to one of the guys out there last week. He said that he kicked over 20 people out of one site and found 3 sidearms
Really?
in one weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about? I always used to say back in the day, I teach quite a bit of TCCC stuff and stuff like that. And I always tried to tell people, hey, it's not just the active shooter. And now you're seeing knife attacks
Right.
in the U.S.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I think that stuff, I think, is just going to get worse.
Sure.
And that's a metal detector's worst nightmare.
Right.
I mean, like, what do you see going on that? Like,
a lot of times in hospitals, if there's a higher elevated threat, we've had instances where we'll bring another guard in up there with an unarmed guy, and they'll wand everybody. So after hours, the ER is the only entrance open.
right.
So anybody that comes in the ER at that point, they were wanded for any type of weapon, period. Whether it was a gun, knife, whatever.
Right.
And then, also had another armed guy that was, taking care of the
Right.
rest of it. So it's just really hard there's so much, 450 square feet of buildings there at the main campus, that one guy,
Right.
how do you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I guess you just gotta have that dude that's ready to hustle too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, it is. It's nuts. I mean, the world is getting. It's always been crazy.
Always.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's getting any nicer out
It's
there.
definitely not getting any nicer, and it's almost like it probably happened this way before, but you just hear about it a whole lot more now.
Yeah. What? And I don't even know if it was at this. I know it wasn't at this level in the United States 10 years
No.
ago. They were happening.
Right.
But it was not all the time like
No.
it is. But I was telling somebody the other day, I can't remember who I was talking to. I told him, I was talking about you. I said, Brad's got the right idea. I said, because the security business is only going up.
Right.
Like I don't see a day coming where they're like, no, we don't need any
Yeah.
security.
Yeah.
I do know what I was going to ask you, though. It's completely in left field for security, though. Do you know any security companies, including yourself? You guys may do it. I don't know, but that are using the drones like for Overwatch and
so
stuff.
let me tell you. So my cousin, he actually called me the other day, and he said, "What do you think about a centralized drone facility? Basically, they can run them from, say, Tulsa down here in southeast Oklahoma, and they're basically somewhere on that campus, and they're activated, and they can go, pepper balls, whatever." Yeah. So no, I don't know anybody else that does that, but that was brought to my attention last week.
I after that shooting that happened last week, crazy.
Yeah.
But that's what I thought. Like, man, like if they would have had something in the air,
Yes.
that a dude in all black would have stood out on an all white roof.
Absolutely.
And I think you're going to see a lot of that stuff, like for executive protection and stuff.
So we've actually done executive protection as well.
Okay.
Yeah. It's for campaign parties
See,
or watch parties or stuff like that. We've actually done that in the past too for some pretty high.
Yeah. I think that's cool that you guys are into that too. I do think that the drones, I mean, I know everybody's like, oh God, drones, but
yeah.
it's a necessary evil now.
So-
After what just happened,
Yes.
that to me would have been prevented by a drone.
So there's that has been brought to me, two different types of drones that you could use for that type of stuff. You could have aerial security over the whole place, and then you could have one actually inside the building that if something did happen,
It responds.
and you can actually maneuver it to it and if you can't get into the actual room that it's in, you can basically keep containment, if you can call it containment, but you can keep eyes on what you've got
Right.
and run it that way.
I think it is going to be moving. Like you're going to see drones play, especially in the security business. But like you said your cousin contacted you? Okay, so are you familiar with the Choctaw Nation's drone thing they have in Daisy?
Is it for the old Ty Valley Ranch?
Man, I think that's what they bought. Like, they brought people in to train them at that facility because they have their own special airspace set up too, to where I went out there and sat out there with a job probably a year and a half ago. And was there with the drone people out there, and they just got done. At the time, they were in a travel trailer,
Right.
but they just got done building this huge building out there for people to come in, train, and stuff. But most of your aircraft, or all of them, I guess, are supposed to have a beacon that lets them know where it's at. Well, they have a system set up out there where if that beacon ain't on, it don't matter. They know they're there,
Right.
Because they're flying
Yeah.
their stuff. Well, we're sitting there. In this trailer that they're working out of at the time, and the guy over, he's like, "Y'all want to see something cool?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." There's all kinds of drones sitting behind us everywhere, and he said, "Watch that TV." And there was some girl that was doing an internship there, and he said her name and was like, "Hey, get ready to fly R2D2 or whatever it is,
Yeah.
And he opens the back door in this building. He said, "Y'all see that black box out there?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's probably the size of a pizza box, like 3 high." She types it up. The damn corner of it flops open, and arm puts the drone out, and it flies off. We're watching it on it. I mean, we watched it live, and then we're watching it on the TV take off. And he said, "You can fly this from anywhere in the world." Like, so they were saying, like you were saying, you could station these things and they charge when they land and come back in. They're charging, and so I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Yes.
You know.
Yep.
And I never even thought about that. I mean, like it's one of those deals. Like who knows, man? Security, I do think security and technology is where everything's
We've
going.
we've actually also, and it's in the very, very beginning stages, but looking at cybersecurity as well. So
Well, that would be so far over my head.
it's pretty far over my head as well. But
Yeah.
I've got somebody that's looking into it and going to try to get it off the ground
Right.
before long. So
Right. Shit, that right there, if you get it going, and that pays its own deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, what's the biggest issue that you running the security company have run into? What's your biggest obstacle?
After running the security company, once it gets up and off the ground and going, it really runs itself as long as you've got good guys to really man the posts in the contracts of where you're at. I would say the worst part was actually getting it up off the ground
Yeah.
and getting it going. That's the hard part.
So, I was talking about that, then that's like the hustle.
Yes.
That so. What kind of hustle did it take to get it up and going?
So, back to my cousin. Several years ago, he had an idea, or he had a deal going that I was going to work the security for. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out, but I had talked to several different people in that time frame that one day something popped up and they contacted me and said, "Hey, are you doing this?" Well, I didn't have a license. I didn't have insurance. So it was like,
I'm not, but I can
I'm not,
be.
but I can be, and was before things started. So that right there is how it all came about.
So from the time you got that phone call in to the time you were doing the first security gig, how long do you think that was?
Probably 2.5, 3 weeks.
Really?
Yes.
That's quick.
That's quick.
How'd you push that paperwork through?
Called Cleat and just
Wore that phone out?
wore that phone out.
Yeah.
Because back then it wasn't all on the portal. Back then it was all paperwork.
Ooh, how about that portal?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. So having paperwork, I actually got it all done up, and I actually had my bundle of paperwork, and I went over there and gave it to them.
Yeah.
And they said, "Give us 2 days."
Yeah.
And it was done.
My wife makes fun of me all the time because I will hand deliver things. And the mail works or email works. I'm like, babe, if I can look you in the eyes with my paperwork
And hand it to you?
Yes.
I know it got there.
Yeah, I know it got there, and if for some reason it shows up lost, I can be like, well, I know Susie Q or Brian G lost it.
Right.
But she makes fun of me, but it has paid off a couple times.
It absolutely has.
When the one thing I do mail in, which is very crazy, for my EMT license, I have to renew it every 2 years. Totally off subject, but I have to renew it every 2 years, and for the last 2 years, I've made duplicate copies of everything, all my CEUs,
Yes.
all the paperwork I got to fill out, and I send them certified to the state EMS division. And you know what? And I send double payments.
Yeah.
I ain't never got a refund.
No.
And I don't have any credit anywhere.
No. Right.
But if I'm going to do anything, it's worth paying double the money to keep the license.
Absolutely.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, my boss, or not my boss, my partner, she makes fun of me because I'm like that too at work. She's like, "You're old." I was like, "I am old." Like,
That's me. That portal. If you don't know
Oh, my God.
if you let it lapse or you don't log on in so long, it'll lock you out, and then you got to call and get it unlocked and remember your password to get that reset.
Yeah.
That thing is.
I'm horrible at passwords. Like,
Me too. I got so many of them. It don't.
yeah, they're like, "Don't write your passwords anywhere." I'm like, if I don't write my passwords somewhere, I'm gonna be making them new every
time.
Yeah, at the sheriff's office I work at, if it wasn't for this lady I work with, Julie, she's
Yep.
constantly
Oh.
resetting my stuff.
I remember.
Oh my God,
Oh, yeah.
man! Like some of my passwords I'm good at remembering, and then the other ones I'm just like, help.
Yeah,
Like,
help.
and she gets it done quick. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
so, I'm sure at this point she's like, this kid.
Yeah,
Yeah. But so the hustle, like, you're the side business stuff, which isn't really even a side business for you.
Not
I mean,
anymore,
it's
no.
like the business.
The business, yeah.
What would you say the difference is between hustling for yourself versus like hustling for working for somebody? Yeah, versus you being an employee versus you being the business owner.
So, if you're working for somebody, you know what you're going to make every month. No matter, you can take off, and you're still going to, and you have paid leave. You're going to make that set amount of money. Every time payday comes around, you know what your check's going to be.
Yeah.
Whether whether you take off,
You're sick.
you're sick, or you go on vacation, or you go to work, and you bust it to do your job. You're going to make that same amount of money.
Right.
Well, if you're working for yourself and you bust it, you're only going to make more and more money if you're working for yourself.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that is the huge difference. Like, with my deal, if I'm hustling, like if I'm really hustling, if I'm burning them phone numbers down, I can definitely build the. I know when my trainings are coming. I run a training business,
Right.
and that's just what I do. But if I burn the phones up, I know I can stack the trainings.
Correct.
If I don't burn them up and I just let it by word of mouth, it's still good enough. Like I'm still gonna stay busy. But if you put the time in and you
Right.
hustle, like it's like do you find yourself getting in almost like a competition with yourself? Like you're like, how much can I make next year? How much can I make this year?
So that's a good point. So I always, when I first started this, I made a goal for myself. And once I hit that goal, I made another goal. And I don't ever make a goal that I can't obtain fairly realistic.
Yeah.
Because if I make a goal that is 3 to 5 years down the road, I get discouraged and I won't, technically, I may not reach it, or I'll get discouraged and not keep hustling toward it.
Right.
So I always make one attainable enough that when I get that one, I make another one.
Yeah.
And when I get that one, I make another one. It's just a never-ending cycle to keep me motivated to keep hustling.
It's the motivation.
It is,
That's
100%.
it. If you don't have the motivation, my side hustle is not a job to me.
Right.
It's something I enjoy.
Same. Me too.
And I'm scared myself that if it turns into a job for me, that I may be like, I may not have the motivation that I have.
You will. 100% you will. Because once you see the results of everything that you start getting, it's just
right.
So motivating that you don't, to be successful and to provide for your family and to, it's just.
That's the main thing.
Yes.
Being a provider.
Correct. Absolutely.
That's what it is. I know it sounds stupid, but you Southeast Oklahoma, like you're raised to be the provider.
Absolutely.
You're raised to.
And that's what
you're supposed to step up. You're supposed to do what you got to do. Like, and sometimes life's hectic, but you.
You've heard the Drake song. The Drake song started from the bottom. Literally.
Yep.
From nothing to now.
Bro, when I started my deal, I was hauling props around in a horse trailer.
Yep.
I mean, in order to, I had to spray cow shit out of the trailer, let it dry, and then load my props.
Yeah.
So it's huge.
It's always.
Do you look back and time has flown? Like you're like, how did I get here?
The last 4, absolutely. After I started the business, absolutely. How did I get here? How did it? And I just try to stay motivated and as humble as possible, because nobody wants to nobody wants to hear you boast, and nobody wants to
Right.
nobody wants to listen to your
Yeah.
look at me, because that's not the way it's supposed to be. For me,
Yeah.
I like to help my friends. I've got other friends such as you that have businesses.
Yeah.
That if I can help them to get a class, or another guy get a class.
Yeah.
I'm actually working on one for another guy out in Albuquerque to teach a class.
Yeah.
So if I can,
Man, it's such a, and I will say this, I am a small dog person. Like I will fight for the small company.
me too.
I will go out of my way to use the small company versus the big company.
Sure.
And until they show me that they're not providing the services at that big company, but that's not what I've run into so far. Like what I've run into is those big companies, they just have ordinary people teaching for them just like a small company.
Right.
It's like, and a lot of times the smaller companies got more heart
Right.
than that big company.
That's actually going to take care of you more than the bigger company, because they've got so much going on that they don't,
Yeah.
not that they don't care, they just don't have the time to.
The small guy's going to pick up the phone.
Right.
The big guy, he may be too busy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's, I'm sure, because you said you're still doing like single events and stuff
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
Like it's I will always help the small guy.
Me too.
That's
Me too. That's just the way it is.
So, man, how do you think it benefits you with your core group of friends with your business?
I've found out the more successful you become in business, the smaller your circle really gets.
More concentrated.
More concentrated. So those guys were your friends in the first place and don't really care. They don't really care if you have a business or if you don't, because they were there in the first place.
Yeah.
So
You're still Brad.
I'm still Brad.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
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 Yep. That's the way I see it. They've always been there, and they don't care if I was, doing whatever.
Yeah.
They've always been there.
I definitely feel like it does concentrate down, and what's weird for me too is like, I mean, most of my core group has been in emergency services.
Right.
But like there's still some of the other core group that I'm good with. I mean, like I could call them and tell them I have a flat tire, I have a class that I have to be putting on in 2 hours, and
They'd show up with a
hell, they'd show up with a
jack
trailer.
and-
Yeah. Like they would do it. They'd just be like, you go ahead, start your PowerPoint, get in class, and we'll bring the trailer.
Yep.
But I think it boils down to that concentrated
It
group
does.
of guys, and the ones that root for you too, that are within that concentration, they'll help.
So there's a saying that I always, and I'm going to get it wrong because I'm thinking too much, but
Don't worry, I get everything wrong,
Yeah.
so we're good.
So there's nobody doing as good or better than you that's talking bad about you. Somebody that's doing big things is always rooting for you.
Yep.
So they're always wanting you to, anybody, they may not even know you. They may just meet you at
Yeah.
lunch or something. Man, good for you, dude. Good for you, bro.
Yeah.
Keep going. If you need any, if I can help you in any way, I'd love to do it. You
Yeah.
know, but I say that to say, people that aren't motivated, that don't have that outlook on life, that are just trying to just get by, doesn't have that mindset. They, I hope you do fail or something like that. And there's always negative
Yeah.
from the other side, and that's what's really, you can't let that get to you to demotivate you or discourage you, because it's
Man,
more prevalent than.
I agree with you. I agree you can't let it get to you, but I tell you what, like my first year, had it not been for negativity coming my way,
Absolutely.
I switched that shit around.
Yep.
And it drove me
So-
because I was like, I'm about to prove some people wrong, and I damn sure did.
Oh,
I mean,
so
it
people-
is a motivator
Right.
too.
So people will just say, "Oh, you got a security business? Oh, you're a rent-a-cop, or you're, you've got a training business? Oh, you're just,
Yeah.
who are you training? You know what I mean?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
That's not the way it is.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, it's it definitely it's crazy, and what I've said it probably on 10 podcasts before, but like when I started my training business, I had went to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And
I actually remember when you went.
yeah,
Yeah.
a great time
Yeah.
down there. But I went down there and I was at this big conference, and that conference was put on by one guy. He put it on, but he brought in all these other smaller companies together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of used to the bickering back and forth between small companies. Like, it was almost, if I can't get it, you can't get
Almost
it.
like vying for a spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we were racing.
Yeah.
You know, see, and so I got down there and, dude, I had no idea the guys that were teaching these classes down there. I mean, I really didn't at the time, but they knew their shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out that these guys would put bids in for these different conferences and different schools to teach them, and it didn't matter which company got it. It was the same same core
group of guys.
Yeah, dude. It was just
Right.
like whoever got the thing. Guess what? They called up that other small company and they were like,
"Hey, come with me."
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, come on, you know. And,
Yeah.
and I heard it down there that it was the philosophy of you eat, we eat.
Right.
And when I got back here, I adopted that shit.
Yep.
And there's another small company that I work with all the time, and that's my philosophy. If I eat, you eat, and I believe it's transferred to back too, because they hire me all the time too.
Absolutely.
And if I can't train it, if that company can't train it, I'll call somebody.
Sure.
And
We'll make it happen one way or the other.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people. I'm like, if I can't teach it, I got somebody that can teach it.
Right.
And I'll give you their number. Hell, I'll set the contact up. I'll never want anybody out there that needs to know something or needs the training and not get it because they don't have a contact.
Right.
Like, I will connect you.
Right.
But anyway, I don't even.
I don't know how we got there, but yeah.
I've never even talked about my business on the podcast.
You eat, I eat. I think's where that's the.
Yeah, you eat, I eat.
Yep.
And I think if more of us were like that, man, it would be good, you know.
It would be.
And that's on your deal. I'm sure your officers that you have with you are, if they hear somebody needing security, you know, it's not. No, I don't know anybody. I'm sure they're referring them. And,
Absolutely.
And, you know, and it's
more times than not.
Yeah, you eat, I eat.
Exactly.
Like, that's what it's about.
Because when they call, hey, I've got this. Do you want it? Yeah. Do you want to go do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It only makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like, we should not be at each other's throats.
No,
over
and
stuff.
there should be no, belittling or anything like that, because it doesn't help anybody.
No, well, and the scary thing out there too is like when you get, I don't know shit. The stuff I do know, as far as I'm teaching, I think I'm pretty good at it. But guess what? There's a dude over here that knows everything.
Yep.
You know, but does he think he knows everything? Nope.
Right.
Nope. As soon as you think you know everything and you're the master of it all,
That's when you start losing it.
it's time to hang it up.
Right.
That's when you're going to get somebody hurt.
Because you can always learn more.
Yeah.
You can have all the training in the world. Mm-hmm. And as soon as you start thinking that you've learned it all,
You didn't.
you're done.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
didn't.
you did.
The guy that I think your business partner's who I think it is.
I'm sure it is.
Basically, just a stud.
Captain America.
Big brother?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big brother.
that dude. He's a rock star in the business.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a period. Like
he's taught LA SWAT. He's taught in Denver. He's taught all kinds of tactical schools all around the country. He's just a wealth of knowledge.
but he's humble.
One of the most
Humble.
One of the most
Like,
humble guys you'll ever meet.
you-
You wouldn't know.
Hell no! You see him during deer season, he's
Yeah, you would have no idea that he knows as much as he does, and he knows how to kill you 6 ways before he even talks about it.
dangerous.
Very.
Dangerous.
Very.
You know,
Yes.
but controlled.
Yes.
But what I'm saying with him is like, he's a rock star in the business. I mean, he really is. And I'm podunk Robbie Rivers. Like
No.
my law enforcement resume is nothing like my fire shit.
Right.
But when I sit in a class with him, like the few I've got to sit in that he taught,
Mm-hmm. all ears.
Yeah, you couldn't have told me he doesn't look down on anybody,
No.
man. He's there to teach you. He's taught the first class, and I was embarrassed. Like honest to God, he taught the first class that I'd ever shot from inside a vehicle. I'd never shot,
Yeah.
never pulled the trigger from inside the vehicle.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, damn, that's a skill
Yes.
that I should have been practicing. Should have been practicing it. And
If you're not taught, you don't even think about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like he just using vehicles as cover where I'm supposed to stand, where I'm not supposed to stand.
where you thought you should stand to
Where-
where you should.
Yeah, where in the movies they're standing. I mean, like literally, he taught some life-saving shit.
And I was actually there when he taught these classes to where actually shoot and put a target to where it's going to hit to where you actually should stand and why you should stand there and actually give facts behind, not just because I said so, but look at this,
Yeah,
you know.
I thought that was who. Hey,
Same,
you got,
same
you got
guy.
a good one, man.
Yeah,
You got a good one.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, so I'm just gonna ask you, and I ask everybody at the end. You know what I mean? And we can keep going afterwards, but I don't want the 2-word answer.
No.
What would 18 years in business owner Brad say to 19-year-old Brad?
19-year-old Brad.
19.
So I would have to tell that Brad, get it together. Don't quit. Don't be discouraged. And don't care about what anybody else has to say ever. Because they're not the ones out there grinding and they're not the ones taking care of your family. Mm-hmm. So, used to, I cared what everybody thought. I cared what everybody had to say. If it was negative, well, maybe I shouldn't do this. And then I would just back off and maybe not do it or quit or whatever. So, I would tell 19-year-old Brad, get out of your head and don't worry about what everybody else has to say. Get out there and hustle and grind and, you know.
Get out of your head.
Yeah, that's get out of your head. Don't.
I traded water for years in my head, just thinking, oh man, like.
Even when I first started, worrying about what, not so much my peers, but other guys in the brotherhood, quote unquote, would have to say about me. And now, they're not taking care of my family.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm out there. I'm the one doing the grind and doing the hustle. So don't care about what anybody else has to say about you, unless it's your wife or your significant other, whatever.
Yeah. And you better care what she says.
And you better care what she says, because and I'll have to tell you, mine has been very supportive. Does all the paperwork, does stuff that if I tried to do it, it would be so messed up that I've got programs to do stuff that I don't even know how to get into.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If it come down to me actually getting in there to have to do some of that stuff, I don't have a clue. I have to ask her. Where I need this done. How do I do this?
My wife is my IT.
Absolutely.
My computer, the internet just shut off, and I was like, oh, maybe it's just time to buy a new computer. And she's like, no. Let me look at it real quick. It took her about 20 minutes, and anyways, some stuff had to be deleted. It was like the old version of HP or I have no idea. She fixed it. It works great now.
Yeah.
What does your wife think about you being in law enforcement? Like,
I would say that she's proud of me, and supports me in whatever I want to do. It's something, for her, it's something a lot of people don't, a lot of wives or significant others don't understand unless you've, lived it for some amount of time.
Yeah.
So I would say that she's supportive of whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good, man. You can't hustle without the support of your spouse. It's impossible.
You're gonna
or it's gonna be miserable.
Yes.
It's one or the other. It's gonna be miserable or impossible.
When you have the significant other that makes you the man the father and the business owner to hustle and be the person that you want to be, that's when you know you've made it.
That's true. That's true.
There's no other way to.
Yeah. We always make jokes, me and my wife, about the business, because she definitely, like, if I got to do my taxes, hold on to your seatbelt. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
And she gets pissed at me every year when she's like, "Are these the receipts?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah." Like, you know,
I guess.
like, you know, like she keeps me in line pretty good. Your wife, I don't know if she'll remember it, but for nursing school, I taught her CPR class that she had to get into nursing school.
To get in?
They have to have it, like, to be in the program or
Yeah.
whatever. And there was like 6 of them that came to the
Yeah.
fire department, and she was one
No
of them.
kidding.
Yeah. I don't know if she'll remember it.
I'm
but
sure
yeah.
she would.
Small world. Bro.
Yeah, for
Small
sure.
world. But, well, man, anything else you want to hit?
And I think we've talked for
What time is it?
8:45.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We've been here a minute.
We've
for
been here
sure.
a minute.
I'm sure as soon as you leave, you're gonna be like, "Damn, I forgot to say
Well,
this."
I
or
mean,
whatever.
There's one thing that I can say that, you know, if any young person out there that wants to be an entrepreneur, or, you know, wants to start a business, don't take no for an answer. Basically, you know, and like I've said before, I'll make cold phone calls, and 9 times out of 10, I might get 2 maybes, 1 yes, and the rest of them are no, we're not interested, or you might not even get an answer.
Right.
You know, so just don't get discouraged, and if you want to do it, you can do it.
Yeah. How do people contact you?
Facebook, TriStar Security Services. It's on Facebook, and then it's also got Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
To that, so you can contact me, send me a private message, or email me there.
Okay.
And then also, I believe my phone number is also on that
Okay.
that website. Yeah.
I got you. Anybody out there listening that's interested in getting Brad's company too, if you have any problems finding it, reach out to me. I'll get you in contact for sure too. Man, I appreciate you coming in. I've
appreciate
been
it.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
I hope that the audience, if they're watching, can't see how much I'm sweating. It's roasty
warm.
in here,
It's
bro.
warm in here.
It's roasty, yeah. But yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Sticks and Stones Unfiltered. This is episode 15. If you guys want to see anybody else, let me know. Comment, like, and please subscribe when you get a chance. See ya.